Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time you're watching this. Today we're going to be looking at why TikTok Live is incredibly weird and a little bit dangerous. When you scroll down TikTok Live, if you've been on there, you know how wild a place it is. There can be really nice bits where people are just selling educational tools. There can be other bits where people just want to have a conversation. And just to be completely non-judgmental, I went on TikTok Live too, and I decided just to talk about true crime as that was something that I was interested in. That was quite nice. Didn't have many people in my room at all, but I met some nice people and I continued to chat to them in days ahead. But then I thought I would test the waters. So I noticed that people were making music on TikTok and I noticed that people were just pretty weird on TikTok. So I decided to have a go at that as well. And the results from those were pretty interesting. So on the singing one that I decided to do, I can't sing, but we decided to do it anyway. Was interesting because I got a lot of hate, to be expected. And then I decided to do a weird one where I just put on my most fantastic sort of accessories. And I had a lot of people view my live. So the weirder you are, the more response you get, the more normal you are, the less people, but potentially the nicer chat you get. Anyway, that was my experience. Let's drop into this. So there are a lot of people that just talk and they just want to make a connection with other people, which is fine. And you also get people that are really talented. Like there's this girl playing the harp and she's incredibly good at what she does. There's this woman who makes wonderful art pieces with makeup. And then you get people like this guy that basically get a lot of gifts on TikTok because he's pretty. He's not the only person to do that. A lot of girls do that too. There are some people that make gaming content, like the ones that you're seeing here, and that's also pretty cool. They're just making money off of TikTok Live, kind of like Twitch. But this one, for example, you would think that it's someone actually playing a game, but it's pre-saved content. And what they do is they say the more gifts that you send me, the more likely it is that I'm going to crash or I'm going to fail the game. Or this guy in particular, he says if you send him too many gifts, he will delete his games, which obviously isn't true.
I've deleted so many games, and this is my last game, mate. Just don't send, bro. If I get one more firework, I'm ending the whole stream.
Then you've got this girl who pretends that she's asleep and she's a NPC or a non-playable character, but the more gifts you send will cause her character, her avatar, to move. But then you can clearly see that she's like wiped the hair out of her face, so she's definitely there. And this guy, he does the same thing. So the more gifts you send, the more likes you tap on the actual or the video, then it's going to make the thing move. I've never seen it move beyond this. And then it crashes anyway. Then you've got this new thing that I hate, where basically if you send in your name or you send in enough gifts, then this person will rate you on your physical appearance. Who cares? Who wants that to happen to them?
And send a gift, tap the screen, share that live chat, hand with a freaking money gun. Put. Big up hand, thank you. Right, this woman, guessing your age, I'll probably say 33. That's the highest I can guess you. Let me know, how old are you? Chat, we need one more. One more, and we did it, man. One freaking more.
Also, beauty is in the eye of the beholder, so it's quite a weird thing that we should care about this one person's opinion, but okay. He's not the only one. There's many. There is also constant things called battles which happen on TikTok, and so literally two creators will pair up together and then they'll try and win the battle by getting as many gifts or likes as they can from people on the platform. But some of these battles go wild, go to extreme lengths, because in this clip, this girl is saying that because she won the battle, the guy she was battling with had to lose his eyebrow.
Well, how are you doing, dear?
I'm okay, sweetheart. Did you see the battle last night with me and Grim Reaper?
No, what happened?
He lost an eyebrow.
Oh.
I could have been browless today, my darling.
What? That's kind of the tame side of TikTok. That is effectively where things are relatively okay, although there is more about the battles, which we will talk about later. But this is when TikTok starts getting weird. So it does seem to be that the weirder you are, or the more unusual, the more gifts that you get from other people on the platform. So there is a lot of this happening at the moment, and I'm going to disappear and just let you enjoy this.
Rose, Rose, I love your flowers. Bam, bam. Thank you for your heart. Thank you for helping me complete my mission. Hee-haw! Hee-hee! Cha, gluk, 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 gluk. Oh, cowboy hats. Thank you.
Tacky with all of those roses. I only eat fresh and organic vegetables. A rose, so tacky. That music is way too loud. A lightning bolt, a lightning bolt. That is a safety hazard. Are you trying to ruin my meal with a chili? I hate spicy food. 2024. How exciting is that? We get it, Glamis. You're on TikTok, 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 TikTok.
Right? Weird, huh? So if you don't know what that is, they are NPCs, or they are obviously humans pretending to be non-playable characters, and they will sit kind of like this, so they're in waiting mode, until you send them a gift. And if the gift is a rose, they could say something like, "A rose smells so good," and then go back to being NPC again. As you saw on there, anything that you send, I mean, if you send them a massive gift, then they take a little bit more time to kind of thank you for that gift. But effectively, whatever you send them, they respond to and then go back to their NPC state. Very weird. But is it weirder than someone who just sits on TikTok eating? Now, I must admit, when I was looking at this particular video, I didn't watch him for hours, but when I was watching him, he's sitting there eating, not even responding to anyone, just eating. And people are going mad for it. They love it. They love that he's eating. He's getting loads of comments. He's getting loads of people in his room. He's getting loads of likes on the video. Very strange. Then we go into the territory of people dancing for gifts. So this is deadly content because we don't know if all of these are recorded, and I kind of hope they are. And I kind of hope they're made to be something that gets worse and worse and worse, because then more people will give more gifts. But effectively, if you send a certain gift, then a certain girl or boy or other will come up to the screen and do a little dance. When I was watching multiple versions of these, you'd always see that one person was put up to dance a lot more than anyone else. And that person would get irritated, they would get visibly tired, and they'd get visibly in pain. If they are serious, then that is a huge problem, because these people are literally fatigued and literally in pain. Now, there are a couple of creators that will record and then put those videos up on TikTok Live, which is against the rules, but it doesn't matter what gifts you send, because obviously that footage isn't actually happening right now. It's happening, I don't know, years ago, hours ago, whenever, but it's already happened. So whatever you send makes no difference. What is concerning is that those girls, boys and other, they are still dancing for that long period of time, for hours, and not getting a break. I have never seen any of them being given water or a half an hour break. Then you get really sad content where people on live, they're obviously looking for just someone to talk to, and they're there for ages and no one really comes into their room, no one really interacts with them, and that just makes me a bit sad, that people just want to talk to people but they unfortunately don't get what they've been looking for. And then there are people that everyone on live knows about. There are two people that I'm going to mention straight away. One is called Elphaba and one person is called CLA Roots. And I give emphasis on Roots because if you know of this person, Chelsea Leart, she does like to shout that her nickname is Roots as well. Now, there is a lot of history between these two people, and it's something that I could probably make a video on its own, but effectively these two are, I would say, the most well-known people on TikTok. So Elphaba calls herself a trans woman.
Like, what the f***? That's weird. I don't need a Do you only see one? Do you only see a breast? Do you see a breast?
But Elphaba has done quite a lot of things in the past to give that community a very bad name.
am sorry for having so much alcohol. I'm just not gonna lie, like, I just care about trans rights. I'm sorry for making a scene. I probably embarrassed myself. I showed the camera on him and he was hiding his face. Of course he was. Because you know what? I faced him. I said, fuck you. Look at the camera. Look at the camera. Face the camera in real life.
She has lied. She has just done things that aren't okay, and it just feels like the more and more famous that she gets, the more and more insane her content becomes. And at a time in which the trans community is being fired at from all directions, it's not great that elphaba is making quite a bad name for herself as well.
I feel a lot of pressure right now.
Oh, sorry, same. That's why I'm gonna let her fart out.
Oh, John, thanks for the gifts.
It felt so good. You know, when you got a lot of pressure, you just like have a fart, you know what I mean? It's like, whoa, crazy. Alright. Some things I can't change, but till I try, I'll never know.
Thank you, everybody, for following me.
I'm going to keep scaring now, because that's what I do best.
Why are you staring at me? Wait, why are you doing this? What does the eye blink mean? Can you explain?
My friends are calling me to go into the sea because I'm a seal. So I have to turn into a seal now and swim away from you. I'm so sorry. Merry Christmas.
I'm taking sleeping pills. I'm going back to bed.
Oh, okay.
Don't give me a side eye. I see that. They want that.
No, they're calling you queen.
No, I don't want to be a queen.
They love.
Be your own queens.
Okay.
There's no queens. There's no kings. No royalty ain't even on this plane. Piss off.
There is a part of me though that watches elphaba's content and I just want to help her. Now she comes back every day and she creates more and more content, more and more insane content. So she knows what she's doing, but it does feel a bit to me like, is it Avocado? I can't think of his name right now, but the gent on YouTube that just keeps eating and quite evidently has mental health problems. And people keep fueling his fire, so he keeps coming back, and therefore he's getting unhealthier and unhealthier. Now, I feel that elphaba is in the same category. And although, like I say, she is doing it to herself, she is putting herself out there every day, she is doing more and more weird things every day, I just feel that someone needs to, I don't know, put her in cotton wool and say, stop what you're doing. It's not doing you any good. Because I do see quite a vulnerable side of her, but I just feel that she needs the help.
I'm not a fan. Hold on a minute. Fans starting fans. I'm the fans. Laughing at me, I love that. What the fuck? That's mad.
I feel that, and I don't know this, but I'm just psychoanalyzing in the fact that I think elphaba was bullied quite a lot when she was younger, and she's now found fame on TikTok and honestly doesn't know how to handle it. Now, I'm not giving her a massive pass because the things that she has done are not okay, and there is a lot of them, but I just feel that the more she gets egged on, the more she will comply with what people want. Elphaba has lied about having autism. Elphaba has gone out in public with scabies. She has also lied on a multitude of things. She's lied about her transition. There is a lot of bad there, but I don't know if it compares with Roots.
I'll take him. Do you want to kiss me? Oh, darling. Well, I think I'm better than you, sweetheart. That's nothing. Hence the bed's gonna go through. No. Oh! chicken. Oh, darling, chicken. She can't tell me to end my life. I'm fucking working. What's she on about? Famous. Roots, darling, roots. Roots, darling. Roots. They don't know about TikTok. I make money, darling. I make 10k in 3 days. I make 40 quid, 40 grand a week. What's your problem? Jealous, innit? By 58 quid I've got. Fucking hell, this is what used to have to last me a week. No wonder I used to steal so much.
But Roots is an artist and she goes on live all the time. Sorry, Jinx has just come to say hello. Say hi. So Roots is just a real public figure on TikTok Live, and Roots is quite a troubling person. Now, because elphaba and Roots were very, very big on the platform, thank you so much, they actually decided to meet. And I think that was the worst thing that they could have ever done for elphaba's sake. Because when they met, it all started off well, but then Roots decided to have a bit of an issue with elphaba. I think at the time elphaba had head lice and it made Chelsea very upset. Elphaba has also been known to be quite a messy and dirty person. So Roots didn't like that when she came to her house, and that also started a heated discussion as well. And this wasn't something that happened in the dark. This is something that was brought to light and put on TikTok Live.
I've had to tell you to buy me food. I had to tell you, I said, get your money out and buy me food.
Your gift is paid for that.
I don't, you can go back to
You're making more noise than me.
I'm not having you here thinking you're this and that, taking the piss, man. I'm not, man. I want my own space, man. You don't think you can put your shit on me just because you're yours or whatever. You've got your money back now from booking.com. Now I'm the one that's waiting for my £2,000 back. At least you can do a fucking offer. I've invited you into my house, darling. I'll tell you what, because I'll knock them into you. Manners and respect. Roots, darling.
So these two always fight to be the top of TikTok Live, because the more you're on TikTok Live, the more gifts you get, the more likes you get on your video, then the more likely it is that you'll be top of TikTok Live. And sometimes there are competitions that if you become the head of TikTok Live, you'll go to America, or expenses paid, for example, you'll go and get an award, you'll get a money sort of payout because you've done so well that week, that month, that whatever. So there's always been a natural competition between the two of them. But I think they thought that meeting would be like break the internet, but unfortunately it did in a different way. Like I say, they got along for about an hour and then everything went really, really badly. And I do feel for elphaba in the situation. I know that she was kicked out in the early hours, and I think it was in London, which is the only saving grace because obviously trains are still running to some degree. But if you are a young person being kicked out somewhere that you don't really know and then been forced to make your way home, I don't know, I just feel that's a bit sad. But Roots is also a concerning person because even in public, there's no chill. I kind of always thought that Roots was a persona, like a character that Chelsea Lear had made, until I saw other people recording her in public. She will quite happily put this on her own TikTok. Other people as well will basically show her being rude to staff members, showing her being aggressive to anyone when she doesn't get her own way. And also she likes to consistently throw in the face that she's a TikTok star, she's a celebrity, she has millions of followers. But last I checked, she had a couple 100,000, and being a star on TikTok, I don't really think that makes you anything like a celebrity, but okay.
MashaAllah, alhamdulillah. Are you guys rich? Let's do. Hello, darling. Are you guys rich? Yeah. Okay, I'm on live on TikTok, Roots, darling. I'm trying to get to #1. I'm 56 in the leaderboard. I'm famous. 2.4 billion. Yes. Can you send me some cash on there? Universe. I need to get to #1. Like, I need 10 universes.
There is actually also another part of this where Chelsea Lee Art gets sectioned, and then there's another TikToker called Evil Queen that actually went to bail her out, but then those two started arguing as well, and I just like I feel like everyone who interacts with Chelsea Lee Art eventually fights with her. Again, there is so much on elphaba and Chelsea Lee Art that we could go into and make a whole video on if you want to. This is what I mean as well about elphaba potentially just needed to be wrapped in cotton wool, because there is so many times that people just bully her, and this is on her own account, this is on other people's account. People just do not like her, and I just wish that she would come away from TikTok and just lead a very normal life, but I think the fame has definitely gone to her head.
It's my friend's birthday. No offense to elphaba, but she can't fucking stand her. I thought it'd be funny for her birthday to get her a cameo from elphaba. Okay, here's her reaction.
Happy birthday to you. And you're perfect, and you're gorgeous and stunning. Same day.
How much did you pay for this shit?
There was also something I found interesting that happens to a lot of TikTokers. This isn't just something that happened to elphaba. This is something that happens to a lot of people. People will start off with lives and they'll get a very small gift. I think the smallest thing you can get is a little rose, and a little rose is about 0.03 pennies. So I don't know what that is in dollars, but it's 0.1%. So it's not even a penny, and it's not a cent, or it's not any sort of currency really. You have to get quite a few in order to obtain any sort of monetary value. And a lot of TikTokers will say,
Oh, thank you so much. It means so much to me.
But as time progresses, that gratitude gets severely weakened. So I know that CLA or Chelsea Lee Art, if you send her a rose, she will say sometimes, basically don't bother, because they mean nothing. And unless you're going to send big gifts, don't send me anything at all. elphaba, there is a clip where she was talking about a lion, and I think a lion is worth about £300. So if you get a lion, someone has literally just thrown £300 at you. And there was a point when she was starting out on TikTok Live that she never wanted that, or that's what she said. And then all of a sudden she got it, and her reaction is, well, let's look.
No, please, I do not want to do a line target. That's insane to ask. That's just stupid to ask. I'm never, ever doing that. It's just, no, it's not cool. It's not cool. That's such a ton of money to ask of someone. I would love to see a lion. Roar! If you're going to spam lion, send it yourself, because that's what I'm saying. You know what I mean?
Just going to throw this one in for the weird side of TikTok, because what the heck is this?
So wonderful. Can you have live everything every day? Well, we can't always go live every day. Yesterday we went live. Did we go live in the morning? When did we go live yesterday?
So this is effectively the ratings for TikTok Live. So this is the top people each week and how well they're doing. And this is what people strive for. So a lot of the battles that people have aren't actually legitimate, because they've actually spoken with their friends before the battle and they've sent them like £500. And effectively in this battle, they'll get their friends to send whoever £500, because, you know, it doesn't matter where the money comes from. As long as it goes through TikTok, they actually then jump up the leaderboard and become the biggest TikToker that week. So there's a lot of fakeness that goes on behind the scenes, and it's all a bit insidious, because people are going to do weird and wonderful methods just to get like the top of those leaderboards. But here is something as well about gifting. Gifting can go into a very, very dark place. Now, when people see other people on the internet, they naturally have this sort of celebrity complex, Because someone is in a prestigious area like the internet, the TV, film, radio, music, whatever, there will always be people that look up to them and treat them as if they are real big celebrities, real famous people. So TikTok Live makes this very difficult for people to establish a line between. And just before Christmas last year, there was a TikToker who wasn't actually making content, but someone who gifted quite a lot, who got into a very bad situation. So they gifted so much money that they actually got into so much debt, and just before Christmas they decided the only way out of that debt was to unalive themselves. Now this TikToker was known as Jojo. Jojo had 2 children that unfortunately lost their mum before Christmas. And this was a big thing at the time. They tried to get gifting shut down on TikTok, but of course it's making TikTok a lot of money, so that's never going to happen. And then the person who benefited off of getting a lion, which is that £300 thing, didn't really seem to care about what happened in consequence. And I will show you a few clips from that now.
When is enough going to be enough with the TikTok gifting? So there's this woman that's ended her own life because of the gifting, and she got into 50,000 debt. It's been going all over TikTok. The woman clearly wasn't well. Gifting can be a form of addiction. Gifting can be like gambling or anything. They get a thrill can come out of it. It can be an addictive behaviour for someone that is suffering, or it can be peer pressure. TikTok gifting rings needs to be abolished. And someone is sitting tonight 2 weeks before Christmas with the what ifs because their family member has ended their life, took their life. No empathy on this app, no remorse, nobody cares. It is absolutely diabolical.
A gifter has recently unalived herself after finding herself in debt, simply for gifting a certain creator who hasn't got a single piece of empathy running through her body. And I reassure you, I am going to make it my job to make sure that you never earn a penny off this app again.
Like, gifting makes you feel good. Yeah, it's a bit of like you're taking a risk on people, but you're investing in people, and gifters get to see human beings who can inspire, can lead, can create and everything. That's fun. Like, that's good, that's positive. Jojo sending me that lion, that was a weighted decision. Like, now everybody's coming and saying, oh, like, how many people are getting themselves in this sort of situation, blaming it on the gifting and stuff. Like, nobody actually knows that. That's not your right to say. Like, there's people commenting on this post saying that I should reimburse the lion and pay for her funeral. I can't afford to. I've invested that money already in my agency. So I'm going to have this mad pressure to go, like, on my platforms, make the money and, like, do whatever. I'm not going to do that because that would be ridiculous, and Jojo wouldn't want that. Pissed off that she sent me a lion. I wish she'd have fucking sent it to Deidre or whoever else, because it was more headache than worth, honestly. Then you couldn't actually be blaming me. That's how I feel, so thank you for shitting on something nice that she did. If you were any good, she'd still be here and she would have spoke to you. So don't you dare come and project your shit onto me. Don't you fucking dare. Because she spoke to me. She opened up to me. I bet she spoke to us more than she fucking spoke to yous. You call yourself fucking family. Disgusting, man. Look inwards.
The trolling needs to stop now. Like, I'm getting blamed for someone not being here. That person gifted a lot of people on here, but you all find it so easy to come for me. Why is that? Like, is it jealousy? I don't know, but how much do you actually expect me to take?
So gifting is obviously down to the person, but it can, as was said in a previous video, it can become a bit of an addiction. And because obviously you're communicating with that person that you idolize, that online celebrity, it can become something that takes over your life. And unfortunately, it did take over Jojo's, and Jojo unalived herself in consequence. So getting back to the weird of TikTok, there is always this person that comes up, and I don't really understand it, but they basically record an alleyway across the road from them and play drum and bass. I don't get it. Then there is something else on here that I absolutely hate. And I don't know if it's because my algorithm is looking for it, because I've looked on other people's TikTok lives and they don't see it as much as I do, but it is still there. So again, the trans community at the moment is completely under fire for all different reasons, and we're not going to get into that because that's somewhat political and I don't want to fight about it. But what I do think is bad is that people will come onto TikTok and they will set up a live and they will put up a question like, "Hi, I am a trans woman, what bathroom should I use?" But then they'll put opposition only. So they are only wanting to speak to people that oppose them so that they can have a fight online. Because fighting on TikTok Live produces more followers, more likes, more drama overall, and more gifts. So I hate that because I thought it was just one person who just wanted to make a bit of drama. No, it's everyone. And it may not also be the trans community, but that is a huge part of it. There's also religion, there's politics, there's anything that can spark a debate. People like to put on there and have a little fight about. And I genuinely think there is too much going on in the world and we don't need to fight about anything else. So I hate it because I thought it was going to be, you know, people could join and say, you use whatever you want. And then they go, oh, thank you so much, lovely conversation. No, they don't want to hear from you. They want to hear from anyone who is going to fight with them. And that's it. I hate it. There is also another couple of creators that must be mentioned. We'll go with the less concerning. His name is Beavo, and there's nothing wrong with him. He makes content that is very, very strange. So he doesn't really chew his food when he eats. So there's been so many videos of him nearly choking and passing away that it's now become like an obsession with people to watch him just in case that happens, which is pretty awful. But the only bit that I would say is bad about him is the fact that because he can do it, he can swallow food and be okay to some degree. I think a lot of other people, a lot of children, because TikTok is a very young app, I think a lot of children will try and do it too, and they could end up choking and passing away. So I don't think there's necessarily anything wrong with his content. It's weirdly fascinating, but I think it could be something that is not good for minors, especially when Beavo does say things like, you don't have to chew your food to enjoy it. No, you absolutely do, because that's just how the body works. That's just how biology works. Please chew your food. I get that that wouldn't bring you as much content and as much money because people aren't interested in watching you eat normally, but I would prefer it, as would a lot of mums and dads, because then children won't try and mimic you. I don't think Beavo will ever watch this video, but that's just my take on that. And then just one more person for now that we need to add to this list is Paul Breach. And I think if you're on TikTok, then you were expecting this name to come up. Paul Breach is a TikToker who is definitely in his late 40s, early 50s, and all he does is create young content that would appeal to young people. He also has one of those, like Vimeo, it's not Vimeo, is it? It's one of those accounts where you can ask him to make like a birthday message for you. People will get him to make like a birthday message for their young sister, and he will put in really creepy things into that birthday message. You know, it's not just, oh, happy birthday to you, hope you have a lovely day. It's, you're gorgeous, you're perfect, you're everything in this world. And it's quite creepy. So he makes videos like that, but then he also makes videos for his TikTok that are just really concerning. Like he would do young trends, he will use young sounds because all of those things appeal to younger audiences. He will only have subscription-based commenters on his videos, so people that pay him money are the only people that are allowed to talk to him. And there has been numerous occasions where he has been alleged of things that aren't okay. So overall, TikTok is weird. Like the weirdest thing, the weirdest app that has probably ever come about, because it's just so all over the place. And I think because All you need to go live, I think it's 1,000 followers, which sounds a lot, but also it isn't, because if you have one video that goes really, really viral, then you make a lot of followers that way. But as soon as you've got that, you can go live and talk to anyone who's on TikTok at the same time as you. And I do think that can be incredibly worrying, incredibly concerning, and incredibly dangerous. But also, in order to retain viewership and in order to keep people sending you gifts, you have to be weirder, you have to be wilder, you have to be more problematic than other people on the platform. You have to retain those loyal viewers and those loyal gifters. So that's dangerous because it causes more people to do more stupid things and to act in more stupid ways. And then TikTok being dangerous overall, well, we heard about Jojo, in the fact that Jojo unalived herself because she gifted so much money. There are girls and boys being made to dance for hours on end and then getting really unwell. There are people that are showing you that they can swallow food whole and then nearly choking. There are people that are very happy that they've been to prison or been sectioned and don't mess with them because they're unhinged. And then there is just a lot of bullying going on the platform as well. It can be incredibly dangerous. I think TikTok needs to monitor it more, but with a lot more humans and a lot less AI. There will be people that come online, do some mad things and get no restrictions whatsoever because it's AI generated. And also the people that are making TikTok money, well, they get a pretty big pass, don't they? I think I need to go into more subjects of this video in more depth, but please let me know which ones you want me to talk about and we will go into that in more detail. And if there's anything that I've missed, please feel free to leave me a comment because then I can go and look that up as well. Maybe there'll be a TikTok part 2 because there was a lot to put together just for one video and I don't feel like I've touched on much of it at all. Until then, thank you so much for watching and I will see you in the next one. Bye bye for now.